What's up, guys? This is your buddy Big Money for Eternity, and I am back with episode 7 of Could Not Make This Up If I Wanted To. And just like the other episodes, what I'm about to tell you is straight up truth. Okay? So let's get started. This particular thing took place, I would say, about 2004, I guess. It's been so long ago, I don't really remember when it was. I just remember what happened, and this was a day that if you're a wrestling fan, you're really gonna want to watch this one, because this is a good one. And I swear, what I'm about to tell you, totally not making it up. So, on this particular day, I was supposed to go to an indie wrestling show. And an indie wrestling show is just one of those small little dinky wrestling shows where only like 250 people show up. It's not like those great big WWE shows where they have the fireworks and the streamers and the light shows and the lasers and all good stuff. It's one of those little tiny ones where they got the little tiny stage and the wrestlers come out and do their matches, and that's it. And on this particular day, the show that I was supposed to go to was a show that used to be not far from where I live. So, I had gotten my tickets a week early because I'm obsessive like that. I'm early for everything. So, I got my tickets, and I got a message from one of the ticket holders, and she told me that they had a surprise for me that they were going to do for me when I got there. And I thought it was just like, getting to go backstage, talk to the wrestlers, whatever. I didn't know what it was. So, we get down there, and the ticket holders were outside because they were getting ready to take tickets from the people who were coming in to watch the show. And one of them says, "Do you know what your surprise is yet?" And I said, "I ain't been able to figure it out." So she says, "Well, you'll find out because the owner's going to come out and talk to you about it." So I said, "Okay." So we waited for a few minutes. I waited for a few minutes after my father dropped me off, and finally the owner comes out and he says, "Do you know what you're doing tonight?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "We're doing a Make-A-Wish for you where you are going to be manager for a night." And he says, and what that means is, at any time during the show, you can manage any wrestler you want when you want, depending on what match, the matches, throughout the night during the matches. So I said, okay, cool. It's always something I wanted to do. So the time comes to go into the building. I pay for my ticket and go to my seat that I had for about 5 minutes. So I no sooner sit down or get to my seat, because they had a space where I could just roll my chair up to the barrier that goes around the ring. I no sooner get to my seat that I think it was either one of the wrestlers or one of the security staff comes out and gets me, and he says, "You're needed backstage." So I said, okay. I'm like, get up. I go on backstage, and one of the wrestlers is there to meet me. In fact, he's one of my best friends. So that I knew who was a wrestler there. So he says, we're going to be first tonight, and you're coming out with us. You're coming out with us first. So I said, okay, cool. So we go over how it works and how the entrances work and all that good stuff. Of course, I already knew that stuff because I don't watch wrestling for anything. I don't watch wrestling for nothing. So I already knew how the entrances work and everything. So they get the ring announcer goes out to the ring. They start the show, play the national anthem, and then it's time for the first match. So in the first match, I got to go out to the ring with the good guys, who were the tag team champions in the first match. because the first match was a tag team title match. And we wait for our opponents to go out first, and they were the heels, they were the bad guys. And they go out, do their entrance, get booed, told they suck, whatever, you know how it works. And then they get in the ring. Well, I'm so pumped up to get going that I kind of, when it's time for our entrance, as soon as our music hit, I jumped the gun a little bit, you know, because there's a certain part of the music where the wrestler goes out and then goes to the ring, does his entrance, whatever. Well, when the music played, I got so excited, I jumped the gun. My friend's like, "Whoa!" And he pulls me back, and he's like, "You gotta wait a couple seconds." I said, "Okay." And then there was a certain part, I forget what his song was, but it was a rock song. And we waited till it's that certain point in the song, and he goes, "Okay, go." So we bust through the curtain, and I'm like, "Come on, people," you know. And they're all cheering, they're going nuts, you know, because we're the good guys, we're the champions. We're going around the ring high-fiving everybody and blah, 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 you know. And so we get in the guys get in the ring, the match starts. Well, there's 2 points in the match that stuck out. The first point in the match was where the good guys, that was my team, were getting their butts handed to them. You know, they were getting beat up, and you know the bad guys had the upper hand. Well, I'm sitting there trying to fire the crowd up. I'm going, "Come on, guys, let's go!" You know, chanting for the guys getting beat up. You know, I'm trying to get them to chant for the guys getting beat up to get them fired up to make a comeback. Right? They're sitting there looking at me like you know, like, work for you? We ain't doing that. You know. So when I tried to get the crowd fired up, straight up crickets. Okay, that's all you could hear, crickets. So we get to the point in the match where the good guys, my team, start to make their comeback. The champions. They start to make their comeback. They're kicking butt. And there was one other point in the match where after their comeback, which didn't last long, the bad guys got the upper hand again. Well, the guy that was in the ring that they were beating up, not my best friend, but the other guy, he was still in the ring. He was, you know, hurt and everything. And the bad guy that was in the ring that was beating him up turns around and he sees me, and he looks down at me like, "Okay, buddy, you're going to get it now." So he comes out of the ring and he starts to come after me. Of course, I'm playing it up like, what did I do? Whose pants did I pull down? You know, whatever. And he starts to come after me. Of course, I'm playing like the scared, you know, the scared woman who's in the horror movie who falls down just before the monster gets her. That was me. So he's coming out after me, and of course I'm backtracking, you know, trying to get away from him. And he's got his fist all clenched, ready to punch me. Of course, he didn't punch me, but he was playing like he was going to. And about that time, my best friend, who was on the ring apron, because he wasn't legal in the match, he gets down off the apron and comes up behind the guy who's coming after me, and he grabs his arms and pulls him back and says, "Hit him!" And I'm looking at the crowd like, what do I do? You know, I'm totally playing it up, right? Like, what do I do? And they're going, hit him! Now, let me just say, there's a good news and a bad news situation for the guy that I'm about to hit. The good news is, I'm left-handed. So, not likely to get hit by my left arm, by my left fist. Bad news is, I'm right-handed. So, I get the old right fist clenched up, and I draw back as far as I can, and I boom right in the stomach, and he went down like the Hindenburg. And the crowd just went completely insane. They went nuts. And then the guy that was holding his arms back, my buddy Shatter, he picked the guy up, rolls him back in the ring, and then the guy that was in the ring, his partner Ken Andrews, I think his name was Ken Andrews, he's up and he's ready to hit his finisher. Well, the guy that I punched in the stomach, he gets up, turns around, Ken Andrews hits him with a move of some sort. I forget what it was. And then they won the match. We kept the titles. So the match was over, and I helped my guys win. Didn't get caught by the ref either. So, score, you know. So I didn't get my team disqualified or anything, so everything was good. So I still had a bone to pick with the crowd, though, because of that little cricket situation. So I thought, alright guys, you went cricket mode on me during the match, so I'm going to pull one over on you guys. So the tag match is over, we go backstage. While we're backstage where the crowd can't see us, I go to one of the heels that's going to be in a match later in the card. And I ask him if I can go to the ring with him. He said, sure. You know, but he says, you got to look the part. His name was Louis G. Rich. And I'll explain that as we go along. He says, if you want to go to the ring with me, you got to look the part. I said, fine, I'll do whatever you want me to. No problem. So he goes to his bag where he's got some goodies in there. And he pulls out these comically huge glasses that were black frames, but they had dollar signs for lenses. And they were plastic. And then he comes with a necktie. Not a bow tie, but a necktie. Puts the necktie around my neck and puts the glasses on. And guys, that's the day, and this is no joke, that's the day that I got my nickname Big Money. That's where the name comes from. Because that's where I got inspired to create the character that I use on my video games. So that's how I got the name Big Money. So if you ever see anything on my social media accounts where it says Big Money, that's where I got the name. That's where I got the nickname. So we wait for a little while. I was backstage for like 2 or 3 matches, I guess. And then the next match that I was supposed to go out to for was up. Now, guys, I was so excited about turning heel that I was unaware of who Louis G. Rich's opponent was. And so our time comes to go out to the ring. Louis G. Rich's music hits. We go out. So I'm having a little heelish fun with the audience. You know, I'm acting like we're going to high five, and then I give him one of these. You know, just kind of acting like I'm all that in a bag of chips. And you know, we go around the ring, tease the fans. You know, and then I get into our corner where I'm supposed to stay, because I didn't have any spots where I was supposed to interfere in the match. So I stayed in the corner. So we're waiting for the opponent to come out. And guys, what I'm about to tell you, I am straight up. And if you thought that I wasn't making stuff up before, I am double not making this up, okay? I mean, the stuff that you heard in my last videos, I promise you I wasn't making it up. But this one, I am double not making this up, okay? Waiting for his opponent to come out. So I'm watching the curtain, and the song Coming to America by Neil Diamond plays. And I'm thinking, okay, it's probably some guy that loves America, loves his country, yada yada yada, whatever. And I think it's like a independent wrestler, you know. Well, I watched the curtain, and who should come through that curtain but none other, and again, I'm double not making this up, who should come through that curtain but WWE Hall of Famer Nikolai Volkov. I swear I'm not making that up. Now, I was so shocked at seeing him come through that curtain that my jaw hit the ground so far I could have tripped over my teeth. I was awestruck to think that I was going to be ringside for a match featuring a WWE Hall of Famer. I was totally not expecting that I had picked that match to be in as a manager. And it just I have no words, okay? I have no words. So he comes into the ring and takes his jacket off and his little Russian hat thing. I don't know what they call it, but it's one of those fuzzy black hats. He takes it off, puts it in the corner, and the match starts. And instantly, the match was only like 5 minutes because of Nikolai's age. He was like 65, so he didn't really wrestle much. But he wrestled enough to knock the guy that I was bringing out to the ring for a loop. My guy lost. He won. Match was over. So I was just so awestruck. I still could not believe it. I still can't believe it to this day that I got to do this. So we go backstage after the match is over, and I went over to Nikolai and got to talk to him a little bit. And folks, Nikolai Volkov is one of the absolute nicest guys I have ever had the pleasure of talking to. He was just absolutely a class act. I mean, just genuine and just so kind and anything you would expect a wrestler to be. I mean, he was just so incredibly nice, just so friendly. And I actually grew up watching him. I've watched him wrestle since I was a kid. So to think that I got to share the ring with him, that's something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. And I do know that the match that I got to be in with him, well, I wasn't in the match, but I was ringside for the match. The match that I got to be ringside with him in is actually on YouTube, and what I will do so you guys can see it, I'll link it in the description below so you can see my entrance, the whole 9 yards, because you gotta see it. So I'll link that in the description below for you guys to watch it, because it's you gotta see it. Alright guys, I have gone way past my normal time on this one, so I'm going to close the vlog for now. If you would like to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, hit the old thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed to my channel, there's a link in the description below hit the red subscribe button down below. As always, you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next vlog. Take care.